ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Offering my humble salutations at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan. I welcome you all for today's Satsang. We're meeting almost after a month, almost a month. Due to some unavoidable circumstances, I couldn't conduct in previous weeks. So today's even actually as per the cycle, it has to be Bhagavad Vahini series. But for Bhagavad Vahini, we generally need 2 consecutive Sundays. So where next Sunday I would not be available. That's why next would be Bhagavad Vahini. The next two chapters, I think 21st and 22nd chapters would be dealt in from the second week and third week of December. So that's why I had to change the cycle. So today's theme is blessed souls. So earlier in the same theme, we had heard or discussed the experiences of Sri Sitaramaya, who was the son of Ram Ramangaru, the great devotee. And also the second, we have also heard about the experiences of Sri Vinay Kapoor, who was the former state president of Sathya Sai Seva organizations, Punjab. So this time it is little different and a little bit more interesting, because this time that blessed soul is not just one, it's just many in sense it's a whole village. So we are going to talk about a whole village, how a village came under Bhagwan's umbrella, how it became so near and dear to him. So the story which I had read from a book which my mother used to read. So it's basically a book written in Marathi by Sai devotee, which was translated into Telugu. So these were the stories written in 60s and 70s, the experiences of devotees, which are some around 9 stories are there, and I have picked one of the stories. So all the 9 of them were the devotees. Swami had graced them, and all these stories were happened during 60s, 70s, maybe 80s, early in 80s. So this a village, a unique village, or you can say most inspiring village, is in Gujarat. Its name is Devdha. It's in Navsari district. And the nearest railway station, those time, I'm talking the conditions about those time, it was no access to any kind of roads that time. Even the nearest railway station was 7 kilometers. People had to get down at Amalsad, a place which is railway station was around 7 kilometers away. So people had to get down there, and on foot only they need to reach the village. There's no other way, no other vehicular movement is possible. So of course, today there is a better, I think, the access to buses and road transport is better. But in those days back then, there was nothing like that. And that particular Amalsad is around 220 kilometers from Mumbai. So people had frequent visits to Mumbai for any major occasions they need to visit. So if you look at that village, before that, I would like to just remind you a particular incident which I had narrated earlier in one of my satsangs. about Kanchi Paramacharya. Once Paramacharya of Kanchi, Chandrasekhara Saraswati, was walking in a procession. He was to attend a grand function in Chennai. I think this had happened in, I think, early 60s or late 60s. So he was walking all the way to inaugurate or to attend a grand function. And suddenly he took a detour and went into a house which is few meters away from the venue. Normally he doesn't do like that. He would generally go in his, he would follow his discipline. But suddenly that time he had to, he took a detour and went into a house, and everyone were, amazed. What is this? So he went inside, he tapped the door, they had opened the door, and he went inside and closed the door. It was actually the house of a Sai devotee by name Veenamma. So Veenamma and Vijayamma were some old time devotees in Parthi. They used to sing, Veenamma used to sing for Swami playing Veena. And her daughter was Vijayamma. She had also another daughter. So she was staying in Chennai for some time for the education of her daughters. So both of them were with her, and they were staying in that particular house. So Paramacharya went, and Paramacharya actually requested, because having known that they were Sai devotees, he entered the home and he requested opportunity. Can I give Aarti to Swami? Swami's photograph was there in their altar. So he wanted to give Aarti. So he requested for an opportunity. And Mahaperiyava was giving, giving the Aarti. He gave Aarti chanting Ved mantras, and later he told that this is the actual way to give Aarti with all Vedic mantras and all the necessary, they didn't know what it was, but it was of Veda. Then he made a very profound statement while leaving. He was about to leave and made a very profound statement. Satyasai avatar has come for the upliftment of common man. Purity of heart and love alone can take you closer to him. So it was a statement made by the great seer. So no other, he said, no other accomplishments or achievements or your background or whatever that you earn, your wealth, nothing would take you near to him. Only purity of heart and love. That's it. There are only two qualifications you need to gain. Whoever you are, you may be a very accomplished person in the eyes of the world, but that doesn't it become an eligibility or a requirement or a qualification to reach him or to go near to him. Only two qualifications he gave: purity of heart and love. And that is what we are going to see, in the story, how purity of heart and love made entire village so close to Bhagwan. And the kind of miracles or the kind of grace he had showered on that village is something we cannot even imagine. We cannot even in wildest imagination also these kind of things are not possible. So they were simple people, the villagers, and that time there were some 50-60 houses. In present day, when I was actually googling, I found out that as per the latest census, some 600 plus houses are there, and around 2000 people are staying there. So if you look at their, agriculture was the main. Anyway, we know most of the villages, the main occupation would be agriculture, and they also used to depend on horticulture, vegetables and fruits, and all the women used to, go to nearby villages and towns and and sell milk, vegetables, and all. That's how they used to make their living. And they were not, well educated, and the children, they used to send the nearby schools whichever possible. And the greatest, you know, assets of that particular village is all are vegetarians. I don't know about today, but back then they were all vegetarians, and they were fond of cleanliness, and they were very hospitable people, and they were always the peace. Their mind was full of peace, and their heart was, always happiness was dancing on their faces every time. And more about, there is no idlers in the village. No, you won't find nobody just sitting idle or gossiping. Everyone was engaged in some work or the other. And more about, they were all united, whenever there was a problem to one, of course, that used to be the culture of Sanatana Dharma. If you look at the old villages, if some small problem would come to a resident of village, entire village used to come to know those days. So that was the kind of fraternity back then enjoyed by people. Today we even don't know. Even myself, I don't know who stays in the opposite flat. So that is the condition which we have. So, and they used to address like, no, are my brother, my mama, my sister. They were not actually blood related, but though they were residents of the village, they used to address with some relation. So that was the sort of bond they used to have that time. That was a love they used to share with each other. And even if you look at the kind of the housing, how they used to house themselves, but like all 5 6 families, totally unrelated, not any kind of blood relation, but they used to stay in some kind of a house which had a common veranda. It's made of a bamboo, grass, and all that stuff. And they had a common veranda and a room that had a common walls. So 5 families together, they were staying without any, kind of clashes. Everything was fine. And the greatest part, or something we should appreciate, is every door has Om Shri Sai Ram inscribed on it. Every door has, at least is written on it. How is it possible? 50, 60 houses and every door where that means each and every family believes. So for the entire village, God is Sathya Sai Baba. And imagine it never had any great access. There were no proper roads to reach that particular village. It was almost like cut off from the rest of the world. They were not having any sort of access. They only, making living on whatever they're growing, whatever they are. They used to rear cattle, goats, sheep, and all that. And but how did Swami reach this? Of course, Swami has his own ways to reach. And what made actually Swami reach? That's the most interesting part here. So who is the key person here? Through whom actually whom did Swami make a channel to reach that village? No, entire village suddenly became devotees of Swami. It generally is not possible. How did they become devotees? So it was because of their sarpanch, who was the village head by name Narendra Bhai Patel. So he was the one who was a Sai devotee. He had 5 children, and his eldest daughter is also specially graced by Swami, Pushpa, her name. They used to call her CB at home. So the author actually describes his daily schedule, how simple and how, I would say, pure it was. Sort of, he was a pious man, uh, God-loving and sin-fearing man. He used to get up early in the morning, and the first thing after taking bath and all the ablutions, first thing he would do is puja. An interesting thing is he would not have he doesn't know any Suprabhatam, or we have the Ashtotrams and all that. He, in his own simple language, he's not an educated person also, is just literate. He just knew some few words in Gujarati, and he made, with his own knowledge of avatars, he made in his own language, he wrote a prayer. No, he in his own language he started doing stuti. He started doing all that thing, appreciating or praising the attributes of various gods and goddesses in his own simple language. Nothing of Sanskrit or something. In his very 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 simple language, he was doing stuti daily. And over that, at the end, he would do stuti of all the Devi Devatas, praising their attributes and all. And finally, he would, at the end, he would do stuti of Swami. Swami's, in his own language again, the same thing. Whatever he has experienced about Swami, whatever he has seen in Swami, Swami, your form, you have very curly hair, beautiful hair. No, your smile is so beautiful. That's it. Just like I'm telling in my language, I'm telling he has written in Gujarati, and that's what he used to just do it as a stuti daily. That's it. No other specific prescribed prayer like Veda chanting or Suprabhatam, Omkara. Nothing of that sort. Simple language. He made his own prayer. He made his own way to connect to Swami, and that's how he used to do. And the author here wonderfully says that the kind of prayer or the kind of joy she had experienced. See, she was telling, I might have heard prayers of many jnanis or devotees, pandits and all. I have heard when they were chanting mantras, when they were chanting Veda, or they were doing prayers, I've heard. But the kind of bliss I got when this person was doing in his own simplest language is totally beyond comprehension or beyond description. I cannot describe that joy, she says. So that is the power of the purity, because it's coming out of purity, and that is what actually is required. So once one devotee asks Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, no? uh, I have a very feeble voice. I cannot even chant anything. Can Lord hear me? Can Lord hear me? My, whatever I do, little prayer, because I'm not a person who, I don't know how to sing. I don't know how to pray. I have a very feeble voice, that too. If I tell Rama also, can he hear? That's what he questions Ramakrishna Paramahamsa once. And Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, see, you have ants at home? Yeah, he says, yes. Okay, you find a magnifying glass and you search the tiniest ant in your home and take the tiniest ant to a goldsmith and order for, no, you take the measurements and order for the anklets for the tiniest ant. So 2 days later, that anklets would come. Then you make that ant wear those anklets. When that ant moves, no, and that anklets make sound, even that sound also God can hear. So that's a thing. So it's all about connect with God. No, is there's nothing like you need to shout out to no, pray God. You can frame your own way. You can design your own method to connect to God. So sometimes for others, the kind of thing that you might be doing may not be, may not fit into their definition of prayers. But it's not so. It's between you and God. It's between individual and the God. So you have your own way to connect. So because prayer is communion with God. So there is no that this is the way. So Sanatana Dharma also didn't say prayer is only this is the way, this is how you need to do, this is what you need to chant. These are given various methods. Everyone can follow in their own. But the main thing is connecting with God. If connecting doesn't happen, and only we are concentrating on technicalities only, then probably we are wasting our time. Whatever we are doing, if that is not going inside, if it's just more of ritualistic, it becomes where the extravaganza sometimes takes the greater portion, and the bhava takes the back seat. There is no bhava at all, but my extravaganza, the show, a lot of flowers, and maybe I'm all the technicalities, or I'm chanting these mantras very loudly so that others should hear and others should know that I know this much. I know, no, I have the knowledge of Vedas or and all that. That is not the right way. That is not the. It will be more of a pomp and show. So that is to connect to God. Actually, it's between you and you have your own way to connect. So he used to chant that way, and he used to even his wife was also a very pious lady. She used to get up early in the morning, and she was into farming completely. Early morning, she would cook everything, and she would, as Swami says, she was a talk less and work more. Her she author says she was staying in that place almost for a week. She couldn't hear her speaking less than not less than 5 6 times. Only when she used to instruct the children she used to speak. Otherwise, she was a very silent lady. She used to pray for some time, and immediately she would go to uh, her work in the farm early morning happily. And evening, and the children were given their own allocated duties, so they never had any sort of clashes. 3 daughters and 2 sons they had, and all the 3 daughters and everyone shared their piece of work, what was instructed, and they used to do very happily, merrily. They were enjoying everything, and every day, without any fail, 7 7:30, once they retired from work or their duties, they would do bhajans every day without any fail. And all the nearby villagers, all those neighbors would join them in that will, bhajan happening, daily bhajans happening. And if someone comes or not, also these family members used to do bhajans. So this was their daily schedule actually, and they were good singers of bhajans also. So how did now we came to know? that this village came to know about Swami because of these two, Narendra Bhai Patel and his eldest daughter, basically. We'll come to know more about her, CB, who was calling. So village came to know because of Narendra Bhai. How did Narendra Bhai came to know about Swami? So he used to go every time to a nearby village to an astrologer who was a friend. So there he found a lot of photographs of many Devi Devtas along with Bhagwan. So Bhagwan's photograph was also there. Suddenly, he found it little different from others. Others had different, kind of jewelry and lot of weapons and all. This person is so simple, without any this thing, and smile and nice, different, that to a different hairstyle altogether. So who is this person? He asked. That is a general doubt, no, those days, because form is, if you look at the form, is a unique form. It's a different form. People used to comprehend differently. Even that time, those times, I think I remember once Dr. Safaya, who was the former director of Sathya Institute of Higher Medical Sciences, Parthi, when he was not a devotee, he first time saw Bhagwan's photo in his friend's place. Then he asked, "Who is this hippie?" Well, his question was, "Who is this hippie?" So that kind of questions erupted to the people, and later they became, let's see history. They became very staunch devotees of Bhagwan. So he also had that kind of, and he asked, and that's how when his astrologer friend spoke, a lot of he told a lot of stories about Bhagwan, he is Kali Yuga avatar, and he's the supreme god of gods and everything. He told all that anecdotes about Swami, and that slowly that sort of attracted Narendra Bhai to Swami. So one day he finally asked, I also want to have a photograph of his in my altar also. So he took a small photograph of Swami and kept in his altar. In just few days, Vibhuti started coming from the photo. It didn't take much time also, just few days, and he became a talk of the village. All the villagers were flocking to his place, and they were, happy that this something like this is happening, because something they wouldn't have seen before. Even in my childhood also, I used to see these kind of things actually more used to happen in villages. Maybe the purity and love, or human values are existing there more. I don't know. I used to see more miracles in villages than in towns in my childhood. So that's when he, and everyone, not only he, and even the villagers also slowly started, following Swami, and slowly started, attending, coming to his home, having that vibhuti and all. And one day, even they thought, he came to know through the same friend that Bhagwan was coming to, Sardar Patel Stadium in Mumbai. So they thought of visiting Swami for the first time. They had a lot of penchant to have his darshan. So they joined a group of 10 along with Narendra Bhai. They went to Mumbai to have the darshan of Swami. So everyone had the same experience that time, whether it was others had it or not. These 10 had felt when Swami gave Abhayhasta, looking at them, looking at the devotees when he gave Abhayhasta, especially these 10 of them felt a very intense fragrance of roses. Rose fragrance was intense when he did that. So that was the common experience all 10 of them got. All the people got. So that was when it started off. So that's how Swami slowly with the sweet fragrance, slowly he started his play in their lives. That's when, but of course, already they were familiar with the photo, a form of Swami and everything. But slowly, physically seeing Swami, having darshan of Swami physically was the first time. After that, few days later, Narendra Bhai, along with his daughter, I told my eldest daughter Pushpa, who is called CB at home. So he took her. She was that time around no, 8, 9 year old, or that time younger. So they went to a place called Bilimore, which is there in Gujarat, and Somnath temple is there. So yeah, we have a Somnath temple in Somnath, that is a different one. That is also in Gujarat. This is a Somnath temple in Bilimore, a place called Bilimore. You can find it in Google also. Anyway, the presentation I'm not able to do today because I have prepared it because of some issues with my laptop. I couldn't connect to laptop. I got connected to phone. so I'm not able to present. I'll share the presentation where I have captured or collected some photographs of different places or whatever the things I'm describing to a certain extent. So I'll share it in the group afterwards. So Billimore, they went to Billimore Somnath temple, and there was a lot of crowds there. And suddenly, this girl got separated from her father, and he was in panic, searching for her. Actually, she didn't get separated out of no crowd. What happened was she saw Swami there beckoning at her. Swami was beckoning her, and she went there, and she was familiar because it was not, if it first time if she was seeing, probably anyone would be scared. If at all a new person, someone who hadn't seen him, would have different feelings. But she was already familiar with the figure of Swami because photograph was there in at her home for a long time. So because of that, she went near to her, and Swami just held her hand, and Swami said, "Okay, let's go in." And in no time, no, they just appeared in the sanctum sanctorum. They went inside sanctum sanctorum. And Swami, suddenly, he started giving, telling things. See, I am the Mahadev, and all Devi Devatas are in me. Swami many times told, I'm Sarva Devatat is the Swarupa. Probably, okay, we all only know that he had told someone, but no one would have experienced it in person. There are people who had experienced, like this little girl. So that day Swami told, I am. So as I instruct, they follow. All the Devi Devatas, only I'm the one who energized them. It is only my Shakti that is being distributed in all the forms, whatever that. And they follow my instructions. Even when I think one of the satsangs also, I think somebody was telling in these things, the Swami told that this Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara are my assistants. No, they follow my instructions. The same way telling, and Swami again came near to the Shivlingam, and he stood there. Suddenly, all the Devi Devatas appeared. Many Devi Devatas appeared in front of her eyes. Many of them. And again, they merged in the Lingam. So they had darshan of all the Devi Devatas, and that's her experience. And Swami then, okay, now let's go. And he again held her hand and brought to the, at the entrance of the temple and left her. And Swami vanished, disappeared. And this father was in panic, and he was there, and he came to this girl, and this girl was, bubbling with joy, enjoying what happened, what she explained everything. He was, he was happy also at the same time. He was at the same time he was surprised and more of a doubtful also whether this girl might have hallucinated, or somebody has done something to her. So a lot of doubts were erupting in his mind. Then Swami came in his dream at that night. And he says, don't worry, your daughter is a very pure soul. Even today we see, pure souls like, children of primary school. Even Gita Mohan Ram also used to say, one of her students in LKG girl, they all could see Swami. So that I think it makes that when you're that pure, I think it's, you need not do any effort. See, all our efforts, all of the sadhanas are to get ourselves pure. I think once we get to back to that natural state, I think seeing Swami is just common. Just like this little girl could see, it's just common because of that purity. And all our sadhanas for many janmas together, we are only just removing that muck with whatever sadhanas we are doing. But whatever sadhana you do, the first thing has to start with the unity of thought, word, and deed. As Swami says, that's where the purity has to start. When that is not there, whatever sadhanas are do, they are futile. We need to have that purity, that unity, that harmony of thought, word, and deed. That is very important. In a basic level, in whatever way possible, we should try with that. So that is there, the children. That's why I think children always uh, have that privilege of seeing him many times, many children for that matter. So then Swami said, yeah, she's a pure soul, and through her, I mean, I'm going to grace you, not only me and all other the god and goddesses who are in me, they are also going to grace you. And she is going to have darshan of all the 33 crores devatas. Swami clearly told. She's going to have darshan of all the 33 crores. We say, we have 33 crores of devatas in our scriptures been describing. Swami told clearly, all she can see all the 33 crores devatas, and because of her, I'll be in your home always, 24/7. I'm available, and you need not go to any temple. Swami clearly told you need not go to any temple, and many people will come to you, and through you, actually through CB, I'm going to uh, annihilate. I'm going to solve problems of people. I'm going to give vibhuti for all those ailing who would come and who would require, and I'm going to even remove all the uh, kind of sufferings people undergo, the kind of diseases they would. So I'll get rid of them, all the diseases, and I'll clarify their doubts if they have doubts. I will anytime they can come and question me. I'm available here. So Swami clearly told him, you tell clearly to these people without any doubt, without any hesitation. You just announce it. So without any this thing. So that's what Swami instructed him in the dream, and he without any just he believed it, and he without any hesitation, he without any reservations, he announced that day this is what happened, and Swami is going to address you all like no. This is that Swami is available all the time for you like that. So entire village has come to know that, and it became talk of the town, and people coming from different villages also. And Swami was actually, taking this girl to not just one temple. He is taking to many temples, and telling about the history of the temples and all. And many times, whenever she wanted, she can see. It's like Swami gave her that. You want me to come in dream has become very common. So whenever she wants Swami in dream, he would come. Generally, we know that Swami only, if Swami wills only, he can come in dream. Yes, I think there are some exceptions like this girl. If she wills, definitely Swami is going to come in dream. So that option is also given. Probably the very platinum privileges this kind of devotees or pure souls have. So Swami used to, and especially only to her, she was able to see. No one in the home, even Narendra Bhai is also not able to see. Only he was getting instructions in the dream. But only this girl could see, and this girl was, telling uh, whatever that Swami would say, answer the questionings of people and all that. And even Vibhuti Prasadam and everything was being through her only. Swami was answering the questions of people. So 1968, no, Amrit started coming, and it came continuously for 5 years in their home. And it was like he was telling the texture of the Amrit was sometimes it would be sweet, very naturally sweet. Sometimes it would be very fragrant, and sometimes it would be just like water. No, you don't find any difference in Amrit. Sometimes it's just like water. One day he asked, Narendra Bhai asked Swami, can I get Tirtham from Gangotri? Suddenly that day, Swami, that's what. Just you need to order, and Swami is at their service. That kind of that's the power of purity. No? You can order a divinity. There no need not to request and all. You can order a divinity, whatever dish you want, whatever you want. So they ordered Swami. I wanted Tirtham from Gangotri. He said, just a request, not request, more like an order only. And Swami just that day the Tirtham was so cold that they were shivering. No, it was sending shockwaves in the body because it was so cold, because it has come from the Gangotri. That Amrit was from Gangotri. So that was their, one of the experiences. And he says that sweetness cannot be compared to anything. Anything worldly cannot give that kind of sweetness. It is so natural sweet that you cannot compare a fruit, you cannot compare a sweet to anything to that sweetness that Amrit had. And after 5 years, suddenly Swami stopped that, this thing. Okay, enough is enough. So 5 years over, and then he started vibhuti. So he started giving vibhuti from different flavors, different colors, and all that. Sometimes a pink vibhuti, sometimes a kind of vibhuti which never had any smell, and sometimes very soft texture vibhuti like talcum powder type of vibhuti. So like very soft vibhuti. And this Narendra Bhai was like giving vibhuti to all the devotees. He used to say, don't take this powder very lightly. No, it is a very powerful one, and don't take vibhuti. Don't take it lightly. It's a very sacred powder. That's how he used to tell all the devotees who used to visit his place. And Swami said, anytime, any villager or any person can visit his home and ask a question. But that whenever that option or that freedom is given, normally it is a human tendency to misuse or abuse that particular thing. That happens naturally. No, sometimes even as Swami used to say, you come to Kalpavruksha and you're asking coffee powder. No, that sort of questions come. So we are very casual. Sometimes we ask very silly, just like somebody asking, the color of curtains, what I should have home. That kind of simple questions also people would ask. But this person, see, Swami's time is very precious. So he created that. No, it's not every time. Swami would tell that, he's available all the time, 24/7. But I'm fixing some timings. So you can only come to my place between 8 to 10 in the morning, and you can uh, present your questions to Bhagwan. Because Bhagwan's time is precious, he's taking care of the entire universe. So you cannot do. And he used to filter the questions. He would never, kind of a person. Some silly people would ask silly questions also. So he would say, if he would filter all the questions and only important questions he used to collect, and he used to pose to his daughter. And she used to ask Swami, and Swami used to reply. And even this is something similar to story we had heard in one of my satsangs about the person, the devotee by name Krishna Dasa, where the priest Manoraja Swami every day used to take all the plight or complaints of people, and he used to present to Krishna, and he alone could see Krishna. I think something similar like that happening really here in this home of Narendra Bhai. So whenever the author questions this girl, of course, when author met the girl, she's around 25 plus girls. Uh, so how do you experience, or what exactly when you see Bhagwan? No, how do you know when Bhagwan has come? You can see Bhagwan. Only way others can experience is the kind of smile that brings in her face, and the kind of glow that comes in her face, when that itself is the only indication. She would not do any other weird acts. No, when Swami comes, means she would not start doing any kind of some kind of weird things we see in kind of some people, but never such kind of such behavior was experienced or witnessed by people in her whenever she used to see Bhagwan. So she says that when Bhagwan comes, suddenly it's sort of first a kind of shivering starts within her, and slowly that brings a sort of very different kind of state it would go. Slowly it is a kind of full of happiness kind of state, and where I'm cut off from the rest of the world, and I'm in altogether a different zone. So that's what that that young girl used to say. This is my experience when Bhagwan comes. And especially these days, whenever some such thing happens, it's a very natural tendency that people would try to parade it, or sometimes of use it in a way. Maybe it is a commercial way, or there are chances that may do in many other ways. But this person, the greatness of this person, Narendra Bhai, is so much that he very clearly instructed his daughter. First of all, when she had these powers as a young girl of 8 9 year old girl. But when she became young, he stopped people giving directly questioning her. He used to take questions because she's a young girl. Moreover, he even used to instruct her, see, don't ever identify yourself with what you're doing. It is not you who is doing it. It is Bhagwan who is doing it. He is the doer. You have to remember it every moment. We are very ordinary people. We are just no fit for nothing. He very clearly told, we have no such kind of things. You need to don't fall into that trap, that because of the limelight that you're getting, because everyone used to look at her as a next to God only. When somebody is able to do that, definitely everyone would raise them in different level. But he was instructing her, very clearly instructing her. Normally these days, if you see, if any talent of a child gets, parents are like, they wanted to gain fame through the child. No? They try to post, or they try to post themselves. No, we are parents of so and so. That is happening. That happens daily. Natural world. But see this, the maturity of this person, that he was instructing her. Don't ever fall into that trap. We are just doing whatever he has instructed, and he has made his instrument because of his grace and compassion. He just chose us. He can do it through anyone else. He just chose us to do. So don't ever get into the trap. Don't ever feel that you are so and so. You are just, so everything is being done by Swami. So he very clearly, that father instructed that girl. So this is, I think, a kind of lesson to all of us. Most of the things that we achieve is because of his grace, but we start identifying with it. That's where we fall into the trap, and that's where a lot of things happen. Whether ego erupts in us, or the kind of disappointments also happen because we are identifying ourselves with that, whatever that we gain in, or whatever that we possess in this world. But he very clearly instructed the daughter. And that girl also accepted father's words completely. So she had a very, peaceful behavior, countenance, and she never had any sort of high-headedness. And everyone used to come like that, around 8 to 10, and every time whoever comes, they need to sit in that puja room, and both father and daughter would be there, and they can question. And she would question Swami, and Swami would answer back. So that was the thing going on daily. So 8 to 10, he has fixed the time, and accordingly, people were coming. And Swami's voice, she says, that it is so clear and wonderful that it feels like as if a cool breeze in summer. That kind of wonderful when listening to the voice. And she would say, no, somebody has come, question, and slowly Swami would answer her. Or if at all, sometimes he would not even answer. There are even situations, she would say, where Bhagwan would be just silent. If some questions are not to be answered, or some questions are he doesn't want to answer, he would not be angry, or he would not just get irritated or something. With smile, just he would be silent. That's it. And he would not answer any sort of he would just be silent. And sometimes she would say, whenever she would ask some personal questions, or whenever she used to ask about the questions about our past janmas, even Swami didn't like. Swami even never used to like, even somebody, when asked in no Prashant Nilayam also, some devotees like Raman Rao and all, they used to ask certain things. Swami said, why? You just focus on the present. And he always even told the reason, and he always used to give that example of Janaka and Yajnavalkya. How what Janaka, when he comes to know the truth that his wife was actually the mother in his previous birth, so that's where it becomes a disaster, right? So you are not supposed to know, because this is a different. That life is a different movie. This life is a different movie. Actors can be same, and they may be playing different roles like that. So in that way, if you look at, it's everyone of us are playing our roles. That's it. In one way or the other, we are not related to any way. We are just playing. He is the director, and we are just the actors on the stage. And the relation that we have only this on this stage only. Otherwise, we are all one. We don't have any particular. We are not separate at all. We are part of him. So we should never ever get into that this thing of trap, and try to question ourselves, or grow curious about our previous births and all. Swami always used to say. So the same way, Swami even told her, don't question me about all those things. And this going to temples with him and those things and all is going on. And there are many such things actually Swami must be doing even with us also. We don't know, because after we sleep, we don't know what happens with us. Because once one of the great devotees who even speaks today in Parthi Satsangs, in the double-decker campus, Sri Venkateshwaran, the Venkatesh, Swami used to call him fondly Venkatesh. Even I think before COVID also, I was listening to his lectures. I went to double-decker campus. That time I was listening to his lectures. He was telling an interesting incident that happened to him. Generally, he doesn't talk anything about personal experiences and all that stuff. He would always talk about Swami's poems, being a Tamilian, he got so attached to Swami's teachings that he learned Telugu only for Swami, only to understand Swami's teachings more clearly. He learned Telugu, and today he can even he knows so many poems of Swami that not even Telugu people would know. So he can recite those poems so wonderfully. In fact, he was the person in 1993. He left his body. Swami resurrected him in Trai. In Trai, he was resurrected, and till today he's alive and he's giving beautiful talks. So he gave one wonderful incident once that some lady, European, came to Parthi and he was walking, and suddenly this lady called him Venkatesh. I want to tell you something. So first of all, he was that everyone would call him Venkateshwaran. His name was Venkateshwaran, and Swami called him Venkatesh. And he was like little, startled. No, how can a lady whom I don't know is calling me the very close name? Only close ones would call me, especially Swami would call me. So I said, she said, I want to talk to you something. So and, no, he said, no, I cannot talk to anything, something personal she was telling, and she was insisting that I would like to talk to, or I would like to discuss only at home. He said, okay, we can discuss at hall and something common place or some kind of public place, but she was not accepting. She was insisting, let's go, let's meet at your home. So she insisted, and both of them went to the place. One day he decided, and then she started telling, you know, you come with Swami every time to my home. Some country she belongs to Europe, and Swami visits her home, it seems. And along with Swami, this person also visits. And Swami, that time he addresses you as Venkatesh. That's how I come to know your name as Venkatesh. He narrated this incident. So that can happen with anyone, right? I mean, once we sleep, we don't know what is going to happen with us. That this kind of so that this kind of experiences of this girl, we can relate it to. It happens. It is not like for us it is something which is supernatural, but for Swami it is very natural. So then she would say, he showed me so many temples that I don't even remember some. That kind of so many temples she saw, and so lot of knowledge Swami even took form. Swami, whenever he used to take me near the sanctum, everywhere sanctum sanctorum. She went to all the temples to the sanctum sanctorum, and first Swami would slowly that particular deity would come in that form. Swami would assume that form. So she has seen Swami as Narayana, assuming Narayana, Swami assuming Shankara, Swami assuming Krishna, Swami assuming Radha, Swami assuming Mata Durga, and she herself saw Swami transforming into all these kind of Devi Devatas. And Swami himself told, no, I am the one actually in these forms. I grace whoever the devotees are. Some may pray Krishna, some may pray Rama, some may pray whatever the form they like. So it is I who assume that form, and I go and grace them. So what she said very interesting is, see, Swami was able to assume their form, but they are not able to assume Swami's form. That is why. That is why he is Sarva Devata Tita Swarupa. He himself told, no, we just take it very granted because he has come down to our level. That's why we take many things. So, well, our Swami only, we take many. But this is the thing. They are not assuming, see, that form which is inimitable, where no other can attain the form, has come for all the way for us. No? He walked amidst of us, and he behaved so close to us. So I think the kind of fortune, probably I think it is, I cannot put in words. So this is the experience of that girl, the little girl. Everyone is assuming, he's assuming every form, but no other Devata is able to assume his form. He's one and only one form, the original form that has come all the way for humanity. As Paramacharya said, come all the way for common man, common people like us. And even once Swami was telling, once people, some students were sitting in interview, and Swami was in some kind of smile and kind of sort of deep trance kind of. thing where he was in so much of joy or so much of a kind of different feelings were on the face. And Swami was telling what Swami, the question, students were asking, what's happening, Swami? And Swami said, no, this day that incident happened, that Hiroshima, Nagasaki, that bombing incident happened. So all the kith and kin of those victims, they're praying me every year. They pray. They're praying God. They are actually not praying any particular photograph of Swami or something. They're praying or whoever God they pray, so Buddha or whoever. And all the prayers reach me because I'm the one who assume those forms. Because every prayer you do to any form, it will reach me only. So those all prayers, prayers. I'm listening to those prayers. That's why I'm this. Every prayer is coming to me. Everything is coming to me. So many times he gave many times an example that he is the one who Sarva Devata Swarupa and Sarva Devata Tita Swarupa also. And every time Swami accompanied her, she never had any sort of fear. She used to many times along with Swami, she came across snakes, came across scorpions. She said no fear at all when you are with Swami. Swami is 24/7 with me, and many times I saw many poisonous creatures moving around, and I never had any fear. I was so happy, with Swami. It's full of joy, and she was able to walk at night in the bushes also, like that. Everything she was explaining. So even author asked, Swami even used to tell, future to her, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, and everything to that girl. Even author asks that girl whether Swami was telling me, I am coming to your home. And the girl would say, the day you are writing letter to us that you are coming here, that day itself, Swami told that. Uh, the author's name is Sarala Joshi from Pune. And Swami told that Sarala is coming. So and so and so train, so and so time, she's coming. And Swami said that I'm going to bring her with me. Something like Swami told. And we know much before that you're coming, so and so date. So that is what Swami's ways, no? He will even he used to tell many such sort of things to Karunyananda, many things that they would come much later. They would come much later, maybe 2 months later, 3 months later, or 1 year later. They would come. But Swami used to say, see, when he would come and he would come in so and so shirt, he would come in so she would come in so and so sari. So Swami always used to have these kind of conversations with the devotees in close quarters, like you know, Kasturi Garu and our Karunyananda and many other close devotees. Once they brought a girl who was bitten by a snake. She was actually she died 7-8 hours before, and later because village being distant, they took 2 hours for them to come to this village. So finally it was 10 hours, and they brought and they started crying. They were asking for vibhuti and they were asking. Swami said clearly, this girl died already 10 hours ago, and Swami very clearly told that whatever that happened to her is only good for her. She has left this body. I'm not going to make her alive again. Whatever her death is only good for her. She has gone to good loka. She has gone to good. So like that also Swami did sometimes. So whatever is that good for the soul. Always Swami says, no, when you are all in darshan, I don't look at your bodies. No, I look at all your records. I look at your thing, the kind of records you carry, you with you. As Swami says, no, kantha mala. You always have that mala with you, all with all your karmas and all. Now I'll see how to, spiritually evolve you. Where should I, try to give a grace? Where should I really make you? You have to undergo certain thing. You have to undergo certain thing. I can give some concessions like GST concession, no tax. God, someone was telling, as a brother Vishu was telling once, no, God seva tax. If you do seva, there will be some tax concession you will get. You will do bhajans, you'll get some concession. In the karma, we are all getting these concessions, this kind of thing. After all the concessions, still you are supposed to undergo certain karma, you have to undergo. Swami told once it. So even they were jocularly telling that, no, GST like the God seva tax, something like that. Vishu brother was telling in one of satsangs. So that's what Swami told. No, that is what maybe that whatever is good for the soul, he knows and he does it. Like that, no, many people from all the different backgrounds were coming from, whether they're villagers, poor villagers, to the great businessmen, to engineers, and many one, all by word of mouth. They were coming many nearby villages and towns, and they were flabbergasted with whatever that happening, and they were getting, kind of solutions to their problems, to that level that even it became a court also. Their home became a little court also. They were even getting some domestic case problems, some civil court problems. So instead of going to court, all the things were coming here. And Swami was clearly answering all, and no, everyone was becoming like that. Entire village and the neighbor villages became devotees of Swami because he was gracing them in a different ways. And this person is Narendra Bhai. So this thing that if certain times some people may be hesitating to reveal the question why they had come, because they would be very personal. Only Swami would. He would never ask. Actually, he would never ask some person, "Who are you? Where are you coming from?" unless otherwise they tell. Because he only decided that I need to serve people through Swami. Swami is helping these people through me. So it is none of my business to know the whereabouts of these people. Who are they? Where are they coming from? It is not my business. Swami knows it, and he is serving. So why should he? So that's why he never used to ask them also. And only unless otherwise they themselves tell, they themselves give their identity, he never used to ask. And if certain questions are so personal, even that also he never used to ask. He said, "You just be silent." He knows. And Swami also, he knew. He never used to. He said, whatever the purpose, no intention, without intention they came, that would be fulfilled. Don't worry. Swami used to tell like that, and you send them with vibhuti. Many people used to come because lack of children and all, and that was back then. It was very taboo, not having children and all, or telling we have come because of that particular purpose. It was a taboo in all the the kind of villages and all. So that's why they used to hesitate to reveal all that. And he also never used to ask them. And Swami used to say it would be fulfilled. And that's how they used to have children. A year later, when you see the person, he would be coming with a child in his hand to seek blessings of Swami. So that's how he used to see many people like that. And this snake bites, scorpion bites, he says innumerable such kind of things Swami has clearly, done through them. And finally, this uh, author asks something which is spectacular that would have happened. Can you ever tell? Something very, very spectacular that, So he very clearly says, Narendra Bhai, Swami has chosen me, but mainly he wanted to grace our village. It's come to grace our village. It's for all. It's not for me. Because of the purity that these people and the fraternity they have, the kind of love they exist, so it has attracted Swami so much that he graced our village. So in 1968, he said, no, he didn't remember the date, but the year 1968, one day, it was a very sunny day and it was summer. It was not a rainy season. It is a very normal, and they were not expecting any sort of rain at the time. And suddenly, some gray color clouds, slowly the sunlight was disappearing and gray color clouds were forming. So gray color clouds, full entire village was full of clouds. After some time, that those clouds came little down, and they were like little. Everyone was getting panicky, but this doesn't look like or seem like a regular, rainfall type of climate. When if it is about to rain, we have certain kind of climate, right? Cloudy. It was not a regular cloudy thing. It is something different. Everyone was sensing, and everyone out of fear they went into their homes, not like a regular thing. So went into their homes and they started. Uh, what they started experiencing was slowly those clouds came down, and the gray color clouds, and they started raining vibhuti. Vibhuti was raining from the clouds, and everyone was like it was like totally different atmosphere. Totally, they were not able to understand what's happening. No, they were not. They don't want to even sit on the ground. They want to go to some higher place and see what's happening. So it rained, and then till 10 o'clock it rained. It started 8 in the morning until 10, 2 hours. 2 hours continuous rain of vibhuti. No, we can hear it coming in a house, or amounts of vibhuti. Even we heard from a phone from Geeta Mohan Ram's this thing, but we never heard of something this sort. So for lifetime, whatever vibhuti much they want, they can get. The 2 hours continuous rain. They were like, once the rain stopped, again it became so normal, very sunny, no, completely full. It was hot. And then suddenly they were like, what to do now? No, it is very, because Narendra Bhai is very particular about Vibhuti. We should never even stamp on Vibhuti. It is not an ordinary powder. No, then they asked Swami only, Swami, what to do? Swami said, Swami, it seems Swami gave a very hearty laugh that time. And he said, uh, whatever that has fallen to the ground, don't worry, I'll make it to turn it into dust. So rest of the vibhuti you collect. So whatever that has fallen on the roofs and all, you collect. Don't worry if you stamp on it. Don't worry. Don't think too much. Like that, Swami was telling them. But they were so devoted that they collected even that vibhuti that was fallen on the ground also, and they dust spread all over their fields and all that. Swami said that because he would turn that into dust later. And what all that they collected in bags, many bag full of vibhuti everyone would have got. Maybe that must be going on till now, if some of them would be there today also. So that is the grace a village experienced. I think how many towns or cities would have experienced that, or any house would have experienced that. That is unimaginable. That shows, once we have that purity and that love, and they didn't discern, no, especially when we were talking about Bhagavad Vahini. We found about when we are discovering the character of uh, Parikshit, we came to know that Parikshit is like, no, the name Parikshit is he's keenly observing. So keenly he observes things, and he came to know that it is Krishna who is behind that. So these people, out of their purity, they came to know it is Krishna who is doing, it is Sai Krishna who is doing, Sai who is doing everything. We are nobody. It is He alone. And once you get that, He alone, and when you are completely convinced, and once you are full of Sai in your heart, that time you don't actually, I would say, judge people. Oh, he's talking about Swami, I listen to him. I don't want his biodata. I don't want his profile. When the heart is full of Swami, that is how happens to a devotee. He would never look at the profile of a person. He would never, okay, he's talking about Swami, she's singing about Swami. I just want to go there because it gives joy. That's how Parikshit also happens. If you remember in Bhagavad Vahini, Parikshit would just listen to stories of Krishna, whether a normal subject in his kingdom would tell, or a great Pandit or a Vedic scholar would tell. He would be so keen. He would just, no, with full of tears in his eyes, he would listen to them. He would never judge them because, oh, these are normal people, normal village folk, what they can tell about Krishna. He never used to judge. That's what happens to a devotee when you are filled with that purity, that ananda. When you fill Sai with your heart, that's what happens to us. We never judge anybody. Oh, he's talking about Swami. Swami says, no, when my name comes even from a beggar, don't take it lightly. It has a power. Just listen. Don't take because if beggar is uttering, if beggar is uttering my name, don't take it because it's uttering. No, the name is coming from beggar. Don't take it lightly. So like that, that happens. So that kind of joy these people have experienced. They followed Swami's teachings very scrupulously, and they didn't judge anything. They just enjoyed whatever the miracles they had shown. No, even so-called intelligent people, because intelligent for us, mind itself has become great obstacle for us. He says, no, no, I am not so interested in listening to miracles. I want something which is gyan. No, that kind of things people want. But what is a person? And unless otherwise you implement it, there is no point having that gyan also. So once you're full of Sai, whatever it is, you'll be happy listening about him. Whether it is a miracle, whether it is a teaching about Swami or story or whatever. That is what actually is required. We need to fill our heart with Swami so that whatever that he gives us, we'll just accept it. We won't get that judgment mentality once we are filled with that, just like Parikshit and just like these people of Devdha village. I have actually the photographs of that village, which I'll share as a part, no, because I have collected my presentation. I'll share the presentation. That. So with this, I close my today's talk. If any clarifications or questions or any thoughts, today's this thing, today's talk, probably we can discuss now. Saira.
Saira. Very interesting sharing today. Very
Thank you, sir.
absorbing. Mm. The fact that Swami would express himself through this little girl is something mind-boggling, never heard of before. So something very new. Yeah. But yes, this experience is documented, and it's something you've read from the book.
Yeah,
One of the 8 stories. I'm anxious to listen to the other 7 also. You narrate it so well.
nine stories, sir. I have already told one. Vinay Kapoor's one is also from this book only.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, one of the last points which you said, the intelligence is actually a hurdle in spiritual aspiration. The moment
Yes.
you logically start thinking, applying your mind, rationalize, reason out, and all that, you lose out the connect with the divinity.
Yes.
Whereas a child with its innocence, as you said many times in the beginning, they are able to connect with Swami very easily. And it's only our conditioned mind which is an obstacle, actually. It's intelligence
Correct.
is
Correct.
actually an obstacle.
Yeah.
Sairam, can I know the book name?
In Telugu, it is called Patha Pradipalu.
Okay.
It's not in English, I think. Of course, I never found it in English. I read only in Telugu. It's there in Marathi also.
Maybe you can translate it in English as part of your sadhana.
I mean, through orally now I'm telling, that's oral form.
Yeah.
Or till now there is no English version.
No, sir. No.
Okay.
Sairam sir, Venkateswaran.
Sairam, sir.
Sairam, interesting for the Vibhuti rain in my life. First time I'm hearing you. These people
Yeah,
available,
yes.
Sairam? Now available,
I even don't know,
the
sir,
same.
because it's even this book is also written in 80s, I think, or so. 80s or 90s,
Okay.
like not even 90s,
right.
80s only.
Oh, I see. But even you told me, no, sir, the snakes and all, don't worry. I'm with Swami Miracle. Same Puttaparthi also, same lot of snakes is there. People are worrying. Swami Sankalpa, Swami Miracle, all snakes will be there.
Correct.
Nothing. Correct. Story correct, Sairam.
Name of
Correct.
place itself is Puttaparthi, no? Ant hills. Putta means ant hill.
Puttaparthi.
So snakes are normal there.
Oh, Puttaparthi. Now it's
Yeah.
clear, less Sairam. Now 100% clear. No snakes.
They may be there, but they won't harm us.
Okay. I remember the same Puttaparthi only story you told me, no? That the same I remember. And Vibhuti rain is interesting, Sairam.
Yeah,
First
yeah.
time
It's
here.
very
Yeah,
first time of it. Yeah, yeah. For everyone.
I'm here, first time I'm hearing. Good
Yes.
miracles. Swami blessing, Swami Sankalpa, Swami Nichaya. Yes, Sairam.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you. Any questions or thoughts or anything?
I've heard of Swami appearing in the dreams of devotees, but Swami appearing along with Venkateshwaran, who was called as Venkatesh. Incidentally, we have one Venkateshwaran in the.
Here, coincidentally or coincidentally, we have.
Yeah, that is something really very interesting. In
Coimbatore Nagasai is there. Same Sai Baba temple. Coimbatore Nagasai name is there. In Swami photo, Vibhuti will come with Shirdi Sai Baba. Now is available for the photo in Tamil Nadu, Coimbatore, Sairam.
Okay. Yeah, that once we are into sleep, we don't know actually what is going to happen with us. So as we are cut off from this different world, we don't know what. So we also may be experiencing some like that kind of things.
Or possibly because the village was difficult to access and it was cut off from the regular urban life and things like that. The people there being very pure and innocent, they could get a feel of Bhagwan more strongly
Yes,
than
yes.
others, in the
And the
sense
faith
that
also would be very strong with them. As you said, this kind of intelligence won't become a hurdle for them. They won't think logically, it's just they have faith.
and the way Swami connected to the entire village is again a very moving experience.
Yeah. Where he would say he's 24/7 available, but no, people only should have to discipline, set the discipline.
The omnipresence is explained perhaps very indirectly here. That I am there,
Yes.
it is for you to
Yeah.
be and uh, um, very
And very
interesting.
normal people had enjoyed it. It's not that people who had done some great things or some very normal village folk had experienced it. So everyone has we know once you develop that purity, Swami is telling in that way that you can also have it, that experience. An entire village collectively experiences something which is amazing.
Truly, yes.
Yeah. The 2 hours continuous Vibhuti rain means we cannot even imagine how it would have been for that 2 hours.
Yeah, mountains.
Yeah.
Because water will flow away. This will become
Correct.
mounds.
This is a powder, right? It's going to stick to. And mounds on the ground also.
Mm.
I'm not able to imagine also how it would have been.
Maybe it's a poetic expression or it could be something, but there is some truth in what they are saying that there was a rain of um, vibhutis. We see that in here and there, no, in our photographs, even today in our super specialty hospital in Bangalore.
Those coming from photographs and I have been seeing from my childhood. That is there.
I have
But
seen this.
raining for 2 hours is something.
I don't know now, but till Halagappa was living in the Srirangapatnam orphanage temple, I have seen the nectar coming out of $1, and that
Yeah. It happens, I think, now also, but I
uh,
haven't.
Sir, even today it is happening.
uh,
Yeah.
and that is because of the degree of purity, as Suman you were explaining. That
Yeah.
place is full of vibration and full of innocent.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
So the
When the amount of
takeaway,
vibhuti.
the
Yes, sir,
takeaway
please.
of your sharing is it possible for us to uh, give away our identity completely for Swami to reveal himself to us? That seems to be the loud message in this
Yes.
sharing.
Are we ready to lose it, first of all?
Yes, yeah, true, very true. Even for
Yeah.
momentarily, it is.
Because little thing only hurts us. Someone doesn't smile at us, or
Yeah.
I didn't get recognition in my office or somewhere else. That itself hurts us so much. So the lot of things to let go.
Mm.
To losing identity is not that so easy to, because we ourselves don't know that we are so stuck to it.
Yeah, we very easily get upset,
Yes,
irritated,
yes.
because
Yes.
we have this element of expectation, as you put it.
Correct. Correct. Yes.
Identity is one expression. The expectation
Yes.
that the siblings should behave like this, wife and children should
Yes.
behave to me like this, my subordinates and colleagues in the office, my boss in the office. Everything
Yes.
we transact is a business of expectation from other. The moment we
Yes.
drop the expectation, all of us become one. And
Correct.
all are be like everyone seems to be. See, they are talking about Mahavakyas in every Veda, like
Hmm.
Tatvamasi and all that. I think for us, the Mahavakyas are all are one, be alike to everyone, love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never. Such so
Yes.
simple, but yet so deep,
Correct.
so profound, so difficult to practice.
Yes. Yes. Very difficult to simple love all serve all. It's
Uh,
not easy.
as we keep talking and listening to the satsang, mind doesn't keep quiet. It goes on judging. It goes on
Yes.
evaluating. It goes on comparing. So these are
Yes.
all the products of the intelligence. And that is where you said very clearly that intelligence is a hindrance.
Yes. That is
Yeah.
the main culprit here. Mind is the main culprit. And
Very
especially even his prayer also is so pure. No, he hasn't very simple language. He's just writing in his own way. Uh, he's not chanting anything, no, like Rudram or anything like that. Because Swami, all the way Rudra came to him. Swami came to him. It's just that purity, as Periyeva told. Only these two are your qualifications you need to get. That's how you can get close to him.
uh, the intent, the innocence of the deep intent of
Yes,
longing for the divine is the
yes,
essence of this sharing of this man and is the purity of his prayer. Not
and
being
that
a
is being enjoyed by others also. It's not that you know, even the author is telling that the kind of bliss she experienced through his prayers is much higher than what she had experienced when she's in the vicinity of some Vedic scholars or great pandits or so. So this itself shows that the purity or that kind of feeling with what one does. I think anyone could give that bliss through anything, maybe through song or through his work or through his words. Once he develops that kind of purity.
and the power of simplicity.
Hmm.
Swami had led by his life message. In every aspect, his degree of simplicity was something only um, you have to be experiential to understand. He never
Yes.
made anything complicated. A discourse, for example, would
Hmm.
look like he's addressing specifically to you. At the same time,
Hmm.
is relevant to the entire group, and different people's questions get answered differently from the
Yes.
same.
Yes. Same
There's
talk.
a lot of underlying connect and truth in this, and all his sayings were so simple. Follow the master,
Yes.
fight till the end, finish the game. Face the devil, fight till the end, finish the game. It was so simple, yet for our it becomes a very good spiritual tool if you can remember and make it part of your psyche as you do your work. Follow
Yes.
the master, face the devil, fight till the end, finish the game. This is a slogan
Hmm.
which hit me some 30 years back. And even today, I remember it and like to look at it, everything from a divine perspective. Once the divine sanction is there, I think the cause and effect loses its significance. You become
Yes.
internally well prepared to absorb whatever happens and learn from it. Phenomenal.
Hmm.
Great story. Made me think a lot of things. Great sharing, Sairam. Enjoyed every bit.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Yeah, we need to question ourselves. Can we ever reach that stage, or at least can we try now? Swami will grace certain things, so at least we can try to get into that direction. That is what we all of us need to question. Any more thoughts or questions before closing? Sujata ma'am, any thoughts? Anything you would like to share? So we'll close today's evening satsang with asatoma. Asatoma sadgamaya tamasoma ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमया ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय
Very nice program,
Thank
Manjushika.
you so much, sir. Thank you.